We are a supportive 12-step program dedicated to helping people overcome their struggle with and addiction to hatred and violence. It's new member night, so I'd like to invite our newest member up to share whatever is on his heart. Share whatever you'd like. You have 10 minutes. Everyone remember our tradition when they say their name. We say hello and fill in his name, and then repeat the name. Please welcome our newest member.
Hello, my name is America, and I'm addicted to violence.
Hello, America.
Truth is, I never thought I'd be here in this place, a meeting like this with people like you. No offense, but I always thought I was better than that, better than this. Well, better than everyone. I mean, for years I've been telling everyone, I'm America. I'm number one. I'm the best thing there is on the planet. I'm the land of milk and honey. I'm that shining city on the hill. What I've come to realize about myself is the milk is sour and the honey is fake. There's not enough room for everybody in the city on the hill. You see, there's the idea of me, and then there's the reality of me. It's like the difference between the two is like night and day. I am America. The idea of me is compelling, it's powerful, it's seductive, it's righteous, it's charming, it's popular. The idea of me is written in lofty language in my birth certificates. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. I'm American. I sound awesome, don't I? I was born to be great. I was supposed to be the example of everything good. I was the one other people wanted to flock to. In fact, I got a gift from one of my friends. It's a huge statue. It's sitting out in the harbor. And they wrote on it. You know what they wrote about me? They wrote, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest-tossed to me. I raise my lamp beside the golden door." I was supposed to be the one that others turn to when times get tough. For a while I was. Oh, to be sure, I am great at many things. I have one of the largest economies in the world. I have the best military in the world. Everybody wants me to be their customer. Lots of natural resources. I'm actually quite a catch. If I had a dating profile, most of you would just swipe right on me. But if you did, we'd have to meet. And when we'd meet, you'd see the reality of me. Even though I began with all those lofty ideals like all men are created equal, that was a lie. Because equality only applied to rich white male landowners. Equality wasn't for women. They couldn't own land in their own names until 1900. They couldn't vote until 1920. Women couldn't even have a credit card in their own name unless they got approval by a male. And this was as late as 1974. While there have been efforts to amend my birth certificate to guarantee equal legal rights for all American citizens regardless of age, this still hasn't happened. I have committed gender violence for centuries. 2019 marked the 400th anniversary of the institution of slavery. From 1619 until 1865, I abducted human beings from Africa. I brought them here to work for me for free for 246 years. I destroyed families, language, culture. I tortured and terrorized. I raped. I killed people to extort them for free labor. But the terror didn't end in 1865 when they were freed, because I instituted a system of legalized segregation and discrimination and socioeconomic violence against the people, all because I could no longer legally own them. And I couldn't stop at just exploiting Africans and women. No, I also nearly wiped out the indigenous population here. You see, there were people already here before I was born, but I guess I wanted it all to myself. So I cheated and killed them. I destroyed their hunting grounds. I assimilated their children and drove them into reservations. There were an estimated 15 million native people here in this land in 1492. And after about 1,500 authorized legal wars I waged against them, there were only about 238,000 left. I killed almost 98.5% of native people. I have committed cultural and racial violence for centuries. Speaking of wars, since my birth in 1776, 244 years ago, I have been at war with someone somewhere on the planet for 91% of my existence. For 223 years out of the 244 years that I have been alive, I've been fighting someone. I've only known peace for 21 years. I have committed violence against humans for centuries. Remember that big statue I got as a gift? I'm thinking of giving that back, because I'm no longer a safe place for people yearning to be free. In fact, I have abducted, caged, and rehomed over 217,000 innocent immigrant children at borders since 2016. I have literally stolen kids from their families and given them to other families. Many of the ones I've abducted have been sexually abused, and some have even died. I have committed violence against innocent children. Land of the free. Yeah, right. I'm about 4% of the world's population, but I have 22% of the world's prisoners. Incarceration is, in fact, a big business for me. In many places, I have partnered with private prison companies to guarantee them full occupancy in their prisons just so they can turn a profit. And I still get to exploit and profit off of them, because I left a little loophole in my 13th Amendment that says slavery is abolished except in prisons as a punishment for crime. I continue to commit violence against people through incarceration. Speaking of profit, while I'm often thought of as the land of opportunity, the pie is not cut equally. I have an estimated $98 trillion of wealth. 1% of the population controls 29% of that wealth. And 20% of the population controls 77% of that wealth. There is no state in me where a person making minimum wage can work a full-time job and afford rent on an apartment. With the federal minimum wage still at $7.25 an hour, a person would have to work 112 hours a week just to afford the average rent. I have committed economic violence against people. So there you have it. I am America, and I am addicted to violence in almost all its forms. Gender, racial, cultural, economic, physical, etc. And I don't know what to do. They tell me in most 12-step programs, the first step is to acknowledge that you are powerless over your addiction and your life is unmanageable. Well, I'm here to admit that I'm powerless over my addiction to violence, and I can't keep going like this. I'm standing at the brink of war with someone right now. They tell me another step is to make a fearless moral inventory of myself, to make a list of all the persons that I've harmed. My list is too long. I only have a short time, but maybe I've made a good start tonight. They say one of the most important steps is to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. Well, that power, my friends, is you. I need you to help return civility and sanity and safety to my being. I need you to help me choose peace and not war, to choose inclusion and not exclusion, equal opportunity and justice for all, not just a privileged few. I need you to help me build a longer table, not a taller wall, to ensure that there's milk and honey and pie for everyone. I need you to remind me of my promise and my potential, to help me close the gap between the idea of me and the reality of me. I need you to help me build an expressway to that shining city on the hill and make room for everybody. My name is America.